If you're new around here, you can call me Rose. And that's okay, because I'm new around here too. I am back outside, in the wind, in the moment. And I kind of bumming it today. No makeup, just wearing my good old painting t-shirt with paint all over it that I use when I'm painting. So it's just kind of a casual day. It's been a couple days since my last video. And so one of the changes that we'll make going forward and putting more effort into the channel is that I want to make videos more often. I want to do videos more than, once a week. I want to at least do 2 a week. I'm going to try for more, but we'll see. And I also want to do both prompts that I give from every video. So I did do both prompts that I gave in the last video, and the first one was to go and watch a video of The Joy of Painting with Bob Ross, and to follow along with him and paint whatever he was inspiring you to paint. And so I did just that. Mine did not quite turn out like his, although I signed his name to it because it was his idea. It was his world. It was his world that we were creating. And mine didn't turn out quite as, refined and realistic as a good old Bob Ross painting, but I tried my best, and I like to think that he would be proud of me anyway. He would be proud of what I did, so that's just what I like to think. Maybe he would have given me some tips on how to improve my technique, which I would have been very happy. And the other prompt that I gave was to create a piece of fan art, which I also did. And my fan art is from a video game called Identity 5. I won't be including any clips of myself playing the game because you're not missing anything, trust me. But I play for fun, so it's okay. I'm not playing to be the best Identity 5 player in the world. I play because the game is fun and I enjoy it. But I will link to some channels of people that are good at the game, so if you want to check it out, you can do that. I'll put links to their channels in the description. If you want to download the game, it's a mobile game, it's free. You can pay for, certain skins or characters or echoes if you want to, but you don't have to pay any money to play the game. It's a completely mobile game, played on your smartphone. It's a lot of fun. But without further ado, I created a piece of Identity 5 fan art. So this guy in the middle is a hunter character in the game. His name is Hell Ember. He's the hunter that I usually play as because he is thick. But no, for real though, I play as him because he's always free. He's the default hunter. I don't pay money for this game. Other people do, and that's awesome. And one of his abilities in the game is that he has these giant puppets that he can throw down in front of a survivor in a chair or wherever he wants, really, and then he can teleport to the puppets if he leaves them. And I decided to take some of the characters from the game, the survivors, and make them Hell Ember's puppets. They're usually not. His puppets are their own thing. But I decided to make puppets out of the survivors. If you want to check out the game, it's a lot of fun. I recommend it. If you, like I said, I'm not that good, but if you want to play with me, I'll put my ID on the screen. You can go ahead and add me and we can match up, team up, and play together if you want. That would be fun. So the reason I wanted us to create a piece of fan art is to remind us to connect with things that we enjoy. One of the more devastating parts of mental illness is that it can, and depression in particular, it can often make us forget that we've ever been happy in our life. And that's ridiculous, of course, because everybody's had happy times and everybody's had bad times, but it can make you feel like you were never happy before, you'll never be happy again. And I see it all the time, but I also see a lot of people in online communities who are connecting with each other, you know, over a video game or a YouTuber or even a certain hobby that they like to do, like cooking or crocheting or just anything that they have in common. I see people connecting on the internet all the time, and that's one of the great things about the internet, is that it helps us to connect with basically anybody in the world. And it also reminds us that we derive joy from not only our own creations, but other people's creations. And people build communities from other people's creations. This game is someone else's creation, but I mean, I've played, you know, probably 1,000 matches in the game, and in that time, I've connected with a lot of people. And it's not like I'm friends with all of them, but I've still run across, you know, 3 other survivors and a hunter in every game that I've played as a survivor, or 4 survivors in every game that I've played as a hunter. And that's 4 other people that I've connected with every time I played a match in this game. People connect through other people's creations, and people connect through their own creations. And that's one of the lies that depression can tell you. It's that you're never going to be happy again, and that's not true. Find something to be happy about, or find something to enjoy. Just get the ball rolling, and remember that you can be happy again. The first prompt for next time is a monster turned inside out. Whatever that inspires in you, take that idea and run with it. A monster turned inside out. And alternatively, if you don't want to do that, you can also do one where you create something with unconventional means. And what I mean by that is create something using, you know, maybe a tool that's usually not used for that type of medium. For instance, make a painting without paint, or write a story or a poem without a pen. You know, use something else, use something that's unconventional for that type of medium, and do your best to create something. I've mentioned this before, but I am pretty sure that I have OCD. I'm not diagnosed. I wish I were, but as of now I'm not. But I have a lot of symptoms of OCD, and one of the most prominent symptoms of OCD that I have is sub-disorder called dermatillomania, and in which I pick my skin. I compulsively pick my skin. And most people with dermatillomania are also people that have OCD. For, as far as I know, for at least 90% of people who have dermatillomania, it's a feature of OCD. As you can see, I pick the skin around my nails very frequently. It's very painful. As I was saying, I'm part of a support group for people with dermatillomania, and we can, get on that lifeboat and commiserate with each other. Somebody in the group, in the dermatillomania support group, recently posted that they were creating a painting using the blood that was coming out of their wounds that they had been picking that day because they couldn't stop. So instead of continuing to pick, they decided to create a painting. Now I know that sounds a little gross and morbid, but I understood it because it's very frustrating. It's a very frustrating disorder. OCD in general is a very frustrating disorder. Dermatillomania is a very frustrating and horrible feature of OCD. Not everybody with OCD has dermatillomania, but most people with dermatillomania have OCD. And it's difficult to stop. It's difficult to control without a lot of support and love. And so this person was just like, I am tired of picking, so a lot of people have it much worse than I do. They pick everywhere. They pick their face, they pick their scalp. Some people pick just holes through their face, through their arms, and they can't stop. I can usually stop and let myself heal for a couple of days. I always start again, which is frustrating for me, but a lot of people have it a lot worse than I do. And so this person was like so frustrated that they had just started creating a painting with their blood, because that's how frustrated they were with the disorder. And they couldn't stop. And they decided to create something rather than continuing to destruct. Continuing to destroy their skin, continuing to make themselves bleed. They just wanted to make something else for a little while. And while that seems morbid and I can understand if it might gross people out, I understand it. I have to understand it because I'm in the same boat. I'm in that lifeboat with them. Even if I probably would never do that, I don't think I'll ever produce enough blood from skin picking to create a whole painting. But the point is, I get it. And I decided that I want to take that idea and run with it. And maybe somebody out there can get something out of it. Figure out how to make something in a way that you wouldn't normally do it. Or in a way that you think you can't do it. Figure out how to do it. That's what I'm going to do. So, with that, I'm going to give both of those prompts a try. And just thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Remember, go out there